It's a good AGam in Kansas morning. Good morning. Let's take a look and see what's coming up today. First, we'll learn about Sam Gallaher's Equine Training Center in Garnett and how Dustin Conrad, a farmer in Solomon, Kansas, modified his 8013N Fast Applicator to top dress wheat. Then Dr. Kraig Roozeboom talks about cover crops, and Dr. McCornack explains what goes on at the Summer Science Institute for teachers. We'll end with a look at why cattle producers should be in control of the information consumers hear about them. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Horsing Around segment right here on AGam in Kansas.
And we're out here at the Gallaher Ranch, Dawn. Beautiful place out here. We got one of the best, and that's Sam Gallaher. We're just located about 6 miles south of Garnett, Kansas. Yep. And I wanted to come out here because this guy, you talk about work ethic, you talk about talent and what he's getting done with. He's one of the best. Sam, welcome to AGam in Kansas and our Horsing Around segment. Tell us a little bit about your operation.
Well, our operation basically consists of colt starting, training ranch horses, rope horses, and we're starting to specialize in cow horses.
The cow horse, this has really grown in the area. Everybody wants to chase a cow, and you keep getting better and better. You jumped right into these NRCHA shows, and how have they helped you?
The NRCHA is the elite level. It's the top and the best trainers in the world. So it's helped me a lot to go there and see what the best in the world are doing, and it's helped put those tools into my program.
You have done really well just jumping into it like you have and getting going with it, some big successes. And when you are getting ready to go to one of those events, what do you like to do with the horse to prepare them?
I think our program consists of a lot of what I've done in my past, and that's just pretty much being a ranch cowboy. You have to have a cutting horse, a roping horse, and a reining horse combined to make an NRCHA horse. So that is basically what our program revolves around in the first place, and we're just fine-tuning those aspects of it.
We're showing some clips today with you on the flag, and that's one of the training methods that you use. What do you get out of that when you do that?
The flag really helps that horse relate to just cutting in particular. It takes a special kind of horse for the fact that you have to cut and then turn around and you chase a cow down the fence, and in the cutting you stay drawn back. The horse is playing defense with the cow basically, and in down the fence they have to run after that cow and go catch him. And so it can be hard for that horse to differentiate between the two, and that helps with that. We
have viewers out here that got an interest in what you're doing right now. What's some advice you'd give them, Sam, as far as getting that horse introduced to cattle? Some good exercises from that standpoint.
I would get some advice from a trainer that has done it, because there is so many different ways to introduce your colt to cattle. If you have someone to guide you and help you along the way, it saves a lot of heartache down the road later on in getting a finished horse.
Well, we're sure impressed with your training processes and the fact that your horses actually do a lot of different things, from the reining to working the flag to live cattle and outside ranch work. It's amazing the effort that you guys put into it.
We'd like to have the opportunity to come back and see what you're doing. I know you got some shows coming down the road, and expect big things from Sam Gallaher and the Gallaher Ranch. Hey, it was great being here, Sam, with you at the Gallaher Ranch. I tell you what, we love coming out. And you might have a place out there you'd love to see AGam in Kansas. I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Horsing Around segment, and be sure to listen to Better Horses Radio.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com. Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
To see this show and past episodes of AGam in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com. AGam in Kansas brought to you in part by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
My name is Dustin Conrad. I work for a farmer out here in Solomon, Kansas. And this year we decided to modify our 8013N Fast Applicator that we bought last winter. We decided to use it not just for side dressing row crop. We're deciding to use it to top dress our wheat, with the theory of it helping getting into the soil and staying better in the ground, less evaporation, things like that. So I came up with an idea one day to build this little bracket design right here and Y off the feed lines for the injectors and put it on 15-inch centers. So that way we have one coulter in the ground, one shooting above the ground, so maybe possibly get a little bit different nitrogen use at different times of the year. Primarily we did it so we can utilize this machine instead of paying a local fertilizer company or using our big sprayer that would cause a lot of corrosion and such. And because this is already using fertilizer, we decided to put the wear and tear all on one machine. For the design of this add-on, we'll call it, I just took some angle iron and cut them 15 inches long, made a bracket, bolted them on, took some U-bolts, cut some holes in it, took a small piece of stainless pipe with an injector that we all bought, all the stainless parts and hoses and such we bought from Fast, and bolted them on there. We put a shut-off valve in there so we can remove it and still side dress with the machine later. It just uses the very accurate flow nozzle bodies, so that way it's getting a central feed to both of those, which then they use check valves to equalize the pressure between the injectors. On this machine, it's set up on 30-inch rows to side dress behind row crop. It's set up on 15s with this add-on because we think 30 inches is just too wide for top dressing wheat. So we decided that 15s is a good equal number. It's kind of a baseline, I guess, for row spacings. It worked for a lot of reasons, building, construction of the add-ons, things like that. Myself and my boss are both dealers out here in central Kansas for Fast, which they're located out of Mountain Lake, Minnesota. I'm originally from Illinois. That's where I was born and raised. They're kind of prevalent there. And that's how I know about them guys. It's something that I brought with me when I moved out here. And it's something, I worked for them for about a year assembling them. I think they make a great product. They use a great powder coat paint. They have a real classy looking design. They're simple, they're unique. As their slogan says, they're built by farmers for farmers. If anybody would ever have any questions or the desire to purchase one of these, myself, I'm a dealer. You can feel free to call me anytime at 785-202-2309. If you want to talk about the Fast products, they sell everything from pull-type sprayers to applicators, track tanks, smaller machines, boom-mounted sprayers, three-point mounted applicator bars. If anybody would ever be interested in my little design of modifying this unit or another unit to top dress wheat. If you're interested in it, please feel free to call me at any time. If you like, you may send me an email at dstncnrd28@gmail.com.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome. Heinen Brothers, a fourth-generation Northeast Kansas farm family, knows how tough farming can be. Farmers helping farmers. Heinen Brothers Ag, selling and servicing crop protection products, fertilizer, anhydrous ammonia, cover crops, quality aerial and ground application. Call today to learn about our extended term financing program. 800-760-4964. HeinenBrothersAg.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
We've been looking at cover crops in a wheat, sorghum, soybean rotation where we insert cover crops between the wheat and the sorghum. And we've also looked at cover crops between soybeans and corn. If we're really after residue, we want things like the cereals, the summer annuals like sorghum sedan, millets, things like that. They produce residue that typically doesn't break down as quickly, provides additional benefits in terms of water infiltration, preventing water evaporative losses and that kind of thing. If you're looking at nitrogen contribution or scavenging nitrogen especially, you may want to look at brassicas, things like the rapeseed or the radishes, very deep tap roots. Go down and get nitrogen that may be left after your grain crop, bring it up to the surface and incorporate it into residues that'll turn over very quickly. Now it's not like you get a big shot of nitrogen, but they increase the background level of nitrogen, and our research has shown that you can apply anywhere from 40 to 50 pounds less nitrogen to the next sorghum crop, say, and get similar yields to what you would get in it if you hadn't had the cover crop there. If you're producing biomass, any kind of top growth, grazing that crop, they're going to be using water. And that's one of the issues in our Kansas cropping systems is the water use. Are we going to hurt subsequent crops by having that cover crop in place? In our environments where we're 20 to 25 inches or more of annual precipitation, if you're careful and you have reasonable rainfall amount and distribution, we see minimal negative impacts of these cover crops on the next grain crop. As you move west and drop below 20 to 25 inches of annual precip per year, yes, there's a very large potential to have water extraction that's going to have a negative impact on that next wheat crop primarily. And so you need to factor that in and look at ways to manage that cover crop in a way to minimize the effect or get more value out of that cover crop to pay for that negative impact on that next crop. Forage use is one way to do that, say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Frank Lyons from Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center here in Manhattan, Kansas. Daryl was one of our patients that we did about 7 months ago.
I dug trees by hand for years and years and years. In the process, I wore out my rotating cuff. But when I learned about this process. I thought if there's a way to get rid of this pain, then I want to do it. So we did it, and it worked. And I'm not going to go out and dig trees with a shovel anymore, but I can do the things that I want to do now.
Well, it's been very gratifying to help people with their painful joints and other entities. And it's been especially gratifying to be able to help people who I know and have worked with and known for many years.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. A high-energy, drought-tolerant crop, sorghum only requires 6 inches of water to produce the first bushel. And with its wide uses and easy adaptation, sorghum proves to be a truly indispensable crop. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of members with one mission: to help your ag-related business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Heinen Brothers Ag, farmers helping farmers by offering quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today to protect your crop yield.
Brian McCornack, extension entomologist and researcher in the Department of Entomology at Kansas State University. And I currently direct a summer science institute for teachers where soybean is the model system. And I think what really makes this institute particularly different is we really teach the teachers how to incorporate science into the classroom much like a scientist would. So as a scientist, we actually don't want to know the answer, which is why we study it. We come up with a set of hypotheses and we test it, and hopefully there's an answer that comes out of it. In many cases, teachers are not necessarily taught that way when it comes to science in the classroom. It can be very prescriptive. So what we do during the Institute, and with help from the Kansas Soybean Commission, is actually provide a 3-week immersive course for those teachers to literally get their hands dirty. So working with scientists from various departments, agronomy, pathology, entomology, and giving them some experience with soybeans. So growing plants, not only in the greenhouse, but also in the field. Working with people like Dr. Shapaw in his soybean breeding program, understanding what that means. And then sometimes we'll even take them to the grocery store and let them do a scavenger hunt to figure out how much soybean is in the products that they buy, or either for cleaning purposes or what they actually consume. And they're always so surprised that 60 to 70% of what they buy has soybean in it. So what we do through the Institute is give them an opportunity to really learn how to be a scientist and let their kids know that it's not okay. It's okay not knowing the answer. And what we do is we come up with testable hypotheses and hopefully come up with a result that helps us interpret the world around us. So what we do is provide them with the resources during those 3 weeks, build up encourage them to step out what they consider to be their comfort zone and really put on their scientist hats. I think what teachers like most about the Institute is its simplicity. We're simply taking a soybean seed and allowing them to see various aspects of its production, from how you grow it to how it's put into food. And it's easy. You take a bag of soybean seeds and you throw them in some pot and you can start asking some very simple questions. Yet the kids can lead a lot of the discussion, lead a lot of the experimentation, and the teacher is really there to help guide. For our social media, one of our hashtags is Inquiry Ninjas. And so what we're trying to teach the teachers is that the teacher is not necessarily directing all this, and that they're kind of silently in the background helping guide the students to asking those questions. Even though the teacher might have had the question all along, it's letting the students be the ones feeling like they're driving the ship. When that happens, the students become really engaged, and I think that's the part that the teachers take home most from this institute is that doesn't require a sophisticated degree to do that. It's just simply switching the way in which you engage the students, which is allowing them to do hands-on, which is looking at the world around them and then allowing them to ask questions and then guiding them to that question that you want them to really ask, because that covers core standards, core science standards. So a major thrust of the Institute is making sure that we address those standards, but allowing teachers the time to understand what that standard might mean and how they could develop a lesson plan around it.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
AGam in Kansas is brought to you in part by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Time can be tricky in the cattle business. Always in need of more time, never enough time. Figuring out what deserves the most attention and when can be a losing battle. But take a few beats to think about the impressions you create every day and how it affects your reputation.
Well, the first thing I will talk about, and the first thing that people need to think about are three questions. And they are, what are the people that are most important to you saying about you? What do you want them to say? And then finally, what are you doing to get them to say it?
Schmidt, who once led the Harley-Davidson communications team, says, no matter the business you're in, it's important to be in control of your message.
Who's going to seize this? Who's going to get in front of it? And who's going to own the message that people are talking about a week from now, 6 months from now, a year from now?
For ranchers, it can be many things: land, water, animal welfare issues. But Schmidt says the key is to be the first person to set the tone for all conversations that follow. Build a reputation that includes yourself, your family, and your cattle.
You have to say, I'm not going to wait for somebody else to do this. I have, as a business person, as somebody tied to the Angus industry, as a rancher, as a farmer, as somebody who supplies products into this industry, I have a vested interest in the outcome of this industry. Therefore, I need to be a more vocal advocate for what we do.
Schmidt suggests actions such as writing op-eds for a newspaper, visiting local community groups, and personally calling legislators.
A light is shining on us now. We need to take advantage of this as an organization, as an association, as a business, but also as individuals.
I'm Bob Cervera.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. To see this show and past episodes of AGam in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com.